Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today I stand here as the proposition in the favor of the motion. This House would issue TKA only for those who want to go to state university. TKA or Task Kemampuan Academic in Bahasa is a warm topic that everyone talk about because it is a new regulation from a new cabinet in Prabowo era. Every high school student have an obligation to do an academic ability test at the end of the year. But I believe that it's such a waste of time and waste of energy if TKA is being implemented for all of the students. TKA should be for those who want to go to state university, which is the thing that I propose today. But before we jump into a deeper level, let me tell you about the definition and the key terms about today's motion. First, TKA is an academic ability test, a task that every student in high school should do at the end of the year as a senior. This task including numerical and alliteration. This is a new regulation from the Ministry of Education in Prabowo era as the terms for those who want to go to university by their score in 3 years of study. 2. State university is a university that is being managed by a nation and the student doesn't have to pay tuition that much. State university usually is the one that students choose to be the next stage of education. In other words, the state university is the one who's being favored but for all of students. The status quo right now is everyone have their own perspective about this new regulation, either they're pro with it or contra with it. Because at the first place, TKA is a replacement from the national test, right? But in fact, TKA is really the other way from the national test. Either the system, the impact, or the composition of the academic ability itself. So let me tell you a few things that will crystallize this section of debate as a proposition, which is supporting TKA only for those who want to go to state university. First, TKA will such waste of time for those who doesn't want to go to state university. Everyone have their own minds, right? It means that every student have their own dream and have their own dream university too. We can control them, especially for the situation that will change their future life. Some of them might be want to go to the private university, and some of them might be want to go to an army academic or a police academic. So it's really their own choice. No one can control it. Even though the teacher in the school, the preparation of TKA will take so much time, and the fixed recommendation for the preparation will be around 5 months independently. Can you imagine how long is that? How many ways of time is that? And besides that, the standard between any university is totally different, especially the private university and the army or the police academic. The standard of each unit cannot be concluded with just one task like TKA, especially if the university have their own regulation and it's different with state university. That is only being managed by just one parties, which is government. The standard of the curriculum and the regulation between any state university will be so much easier to be the same and it can be concluded by just one task to make it easier for everyone. That's why I would issue TKA only for those who want to go to state university. 2. TKA is only effective for state university. Just like I said before, the standard of the curriculum and the regulation will be so much easier to be the same if the university is managed just by one parties, which is government, the easier one. And it will bring a good impact for the new student because they already integrated by TKA. So the ability will be the same as the standard for state university. But sometimes private university have their own standard. Either it's beyond the state university or under the state university. So it will be so ineffective if we implement TKA in private university that is being managed by the non-government. Because the TKA itself is created by the government, specifically the Ministry of Education. 3. TKA really give a pressure for students. Just like we all know, TKA really give a pressure for students, specifically for the senior grader. Especially if the student itself is being standardized nationally. They have to study more and even giving up their time to socialize and replace it for study. So instead of a pressure and waste an infinity time, those student that doesn't want to go to the state university can prepare anything else that is appropriate for their goals. For example, students that want to go to the private university can prepare to study based on their campus standard, not the TKA standard that is being managed by the government. And a student that want to go to the Army or Police Academy can do a physical exercise instead of just book-based study. For TKA should have another alternative based on the three reasons that I already say. First, TKA will such waste of time for those who doesn't want to go to the state university. Two, TKA is only effective for those who want to go to the state university. Three, TKA really give a pressure for a student. TKA should have another alternative, a task that is not nationally based but each campus standard. So it will make the student easier to prepare themselves for their dreams, university, or their dreams academic. So in conclusion, based on the 4 points of consideration, which is first, TKA will such waste of time for those who doesn't want to go to the state university. 2, TKA is only effective for state university. 3, TKA is really give a pressure for a student. 4, TKA should have another alternative. And based on the status quo, which is right now everyone have their own perspective about this new regulation, either they're pro with it or contra with it. Because at the first place, TKA is a replacement from the national test. But in fact, TKA is really the other way from the national test, either the system, the impact, or the composition of the academic ability itself. As the proposition, we should issue TKA only for those who want to go to state university because time and energy really matter, especially in the crucial time. And besides that, state university is the one who's being favored by all of the students. Thank you. Proud to be proposed.